Welcome to the next league of Affinity. We are on the play. We have a perfectly acceptable hand. Turn 1, Drum, Opal. Turn 2, Scourge Plating, probably. If we play Vault Scourge, and then next turn we play Drum, and they bolt the Vault Scourge in response, it's a total disaster, which is why you play the Drum first in this situation. And it's Shadow again. Well, you got cards. They're good cards against Shadow. Thoughtseize would suck. Thoughtseize, alright. Close enough. Oh, goodbye cranial plating. Well, I knew ye. Also, the jig is up on the galvanic blast, so they're unlikely to ditch themselves too low on life. Save one life, because why not? And we can't do these in the other order. Would have saved one life. Well, we have plenty of fine draws. Just need to drop more payoffs than they have removal spells, and we're good. I suppose I really shouldn't have turned on their extra discard spells for a gain of one life. Doesn't really think about that. Yeah, I should definitely have just shocked myself because my life total is... See, the thing is that your life total is definitely not irrelevant in this matchup. It very often comes down to a race between ever-growing shadows and your creatures. And so having a higher life total by a few points can mean a significant difference. Which is why I went for the life-saving play. But, yeah. I really should have played heavier around the Inquisition. Playing this here so that I can play and animate Nexus and attack for poison. Because there are worlds in which case I have all my regular creatures killed and I need to kill with poison for some reason. I'm not about to block a shadow just to, I don't know, save 2 damage early on. Shocking himself? No, not shocking himself. Ooh, interesting. Maybe another Thoughtseize. No, Fatal Push. Alright. So right now we go down to 19, and they go to 7, and we go to 21. Then... we go to 15, and they go to 5. We go to 17. I think we're losing on board, except we have a chump blocker. Definitely, we don't draw anything except mana for the rest of the game. We're definitely dead. I think next turn is the turn I start seriously thinking about jumping with Inkmoth Nexus. Suppose that's going to be 8 damage. Yeah. I much prefer jumping the turn before you're going to take lethal. Because that means if they play a removal spell the turn before you take lethal, you know to relieve an extra blocker back. Whereas if you are trying to plan on having one chump blocker for the turn that you are taking lethal, then it's a lot easier for them to go, hey, I had a removal spell, I win. Alright. And here we're really just hoping for anything that isn't Kolaghan's Command, because I don't think we can beat Kolaghan's Command. Not without some serious luck. Snapcaster Fatal Push is not fun, but could be a lot worse than this. We play the next Vault Scourge, and then you tap the Vault Scourge with a drum to animate the Nexus to chump block. Question is, do we chump block the Death Shadow, or do we kill the Snapcaster when it attacks? Actually a valid question. Because if the Snapcaster gets in like 3 attacks, it's quite possible that the damage adds up to being more than this one shadow attack. Right, so I definitely am blocking with the Inkmoth Nexus because it is not going to kill our opponent. So I could block 7 damage plus 1 on all future turns. Or block 2 damage. Yeah. Tempting as it is to kill off the Snapcaster Mage, I think this is the better block. Cower? Sure. Well, if I just draw Chump Blocker after Chump Blocker, then get there eventually, assuming no more Fatal Pushes. Or Terminates, I suppose. Cranial Plating would be real nice here. So would Edge Champion. Or like a spell that did stuff, as opposed to being a land or a mana source. But, you know, just things you want. Well, I made the exact same decision last turn, so I don't see why it would have changed. It's drawing a bunch of land business. I'm not a fan. We take 8 plus 3 potentially, plus 4 potentially. Don't think he can actually kill us this turn. But so we are on Etch Champion or dead. Another turn of jump blocking, I suppose. Because we could still theoretically draw... Well, now we can just draw a Galvanic Blast. This card is not big enough to kill a Death Shadow. So we go down to 1, and then one of our 2 Galvanic Blasts are only out. Also, this is about to die. Alright, we're dead. Well, I guess I make the exact same decision I just made a few minutes ago. Out the Overseers, because they just gonna die. Put in the Blood Moons. Take out the Memnites. Yeah, we're good. Alright. Come on. Give me a turn 2 Blood Moon. That'd be hilarious. No turn 2 Blood Moon, but assuming no Thoughtseize, it's good. And even if there's a Thoughtseize, at least I have a bunch of manlands. Gonna lead on Blink Moth because there's actually a realistic chance that I end up playing land, opal, animate. Interesting. So I feel very confident in my assessment that he's holding Ceremonious Rejection. At the same time, like, if he's not, then not playing Cranial Plating is really stupid. And we're also playing around Stoic Rebuttal anyways. So, might as well. Ceremonious Rejection. Oh. I mean, they're not going to spend it on the Signal Pest anyways, so you're going to get hit by it eventually. Playing the Darksteel Citadel over the Blink Moth Nexus was so that we could play around Stubborn Denial by having the Mox Opal turned on while we're casting this. Otherwise we get got by Stubborn Denial, and that feels bad. Anytime you get monetized, you're just like, oh, come on, why? Why am I playing Standard and Censor? That thing rapidly got big. So this is actually a really concerning clock. That's a very fast, two large things. Definitely want to Thoughtseize. Angler, Rejection, Gulligan's Command. Okay, so it's not the Anglers. Can we win from this board state? We attack him down to 5. This turn. We attack him down to 5. These both become 8/8s. We're at 21. That's 16. If he draws a fetch land, we're dead to the Death Shadows. So if he draws a fetch, we're dead to Death Shadow. Is that accurate? Yes. If he draws nothing... Oh, we're down to 17. Yes. So we're going to attack with everything because we have to race him. So we're dead to a fetch land. But are we dead to a shock land? So we're down to 17. We go back to 19. He's at 5. His shadows become 8/8s. We are also dead to a shock land. Because, so... him drawing a basic is the only time when he can cast this next turn and we are not dying to Death Shadows. So I'm going to take this, because then if he draws push and we draw some artifact payoff, we can win. Because otherwise this says no to all of our artifact payoffs. So now he has to draw land of any type. Land of any type for Kolaghan's command. Or a 2-mana, or a removal spell. Shocks there, and we lose to the Death Shadows. Alright. Well, sometimes you get every payoff you have Thoughtseized out of your hand, and they kill you on turn 3. Sure.